मैं डॉक्टर कपिल चंदोरिया इस 5 दिवसीय अटल एफडीपी प्रोग्राम में आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। सर, आज हमारे बीच में मुख्य वक्ता प्रोफेसर एस भाकर जुड़े हैं। मैं इनका एक औपचारिक परिचय आप सभी के सामने प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगा। सर एस भाकर, आप वर्तमान में वाइस चांसलर हैं ITM यूनिवर्सिटी में। इससे पहले सर आप डायरेक्टर थे प्रेस्टीज इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट ग्वालियर में। और अगर हम बात करें सर आपके एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन की, तो सर आप PhD हैं मैनेजमेंट में। आपने MBA किया है ऑपरेशनल मैनेजमेंट। आप BE हैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एंड कम्युनिकेशन में। इसके साथ ही आपने डिप्लोमा इन इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग में किया है। अगर ITM यूनिवर्सिटी की बात करें तो ये सर 13 स्कूल ऑफ स्टडीज में डिवाइडेड है। एक बड़ा विश्वविद्यालय, प्राइवेट विश्वविद्यालय है ग्वालियर शहर के अंतर्गत। सर आपकी कुल 28 एडिटेड पुस्तकें प्रकाशित हो चुकी हैं। आपके सर कुल 85 उससे अधिक रिसर्च पेपर विभिन्न प्रकार के रेफरेंस जर्नल, रिसर्च जर्नल, स्कोपस जर्नल में पब्लिश हो चुके हैं। इसके साथ ही आपने 50 केस सेंटर में आपने पब्लिश किए हैं। सर आप एकेडमिक एक्सीलेंस ट्रेनर भी हैं सर। और सर 50 रिसर्च मैथमेटिक्स वर्कशॉप जो है वो आपने कंडक्ट किए हुए हैं। और 25 केस राइटिंग वर्कशॉप भी आपने इसके साथ ही कंडक्ट किए हैं। इसके साथ ही सर आपको कई अवार्ड्स मिले हैं, जो मैं आपको बारी बारी अभी सभी प्रतिभागी के सामने बताना चाहूंगा। सर आपको ट्रूली ग्लोबल एजुकेटर का अवार्ड मिला है, जो ग्लोबल लीडरशिप अवार्ड है, जो आपको फरवरी 2020 में मिला था सर। इसके साथ ही आपको एशियाज मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंट डायरेक्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन का अवार्ड से सम्मानित किया जा चुका है सर। आपको सर मध्य प्रदेश रत्न भी मध्य प्रदेश प्रेस क्लब के द्वारा मिल चुका है सर। इसके साथ ही आपको प्राइड ऑफ इंटरनेशनल एजुकेशन एक्सीलेंस का अवार्ड से सम्मानित किया जा चुका है सर। आपको सर भारत शिक्षण रत्न से भी सम्मानित किया जा चुका है, जो कि 2014 में किया था। इसके साथ ही सर आपको बेस्ट डायरेक्टर का अवार्ड वर्ष 2014 में इंडियन बी स्कूल के अंतर्गत मिला है सर। आपको सर राजीव गांधी एजुकेशन एक्सीलेंस अवार्ड से भी सम्मानित किया जा चुका है वर्ष 2013 में। इसके सर बोलने के लिए बहुत कुछ है सर आपके बारे में, लेकिन प्रतिभागी आपको बहुत बेसब्री से इंतजार करें, आपको सुनना चाहते हैं। और मैं सर आपको बुलाने से पहले एक छोटी सी बात हो रही है जो आपके बारे में बोलना चाहूंगा सभी प्रतिभागियों को, कि सर आप इनडायरेक्टली सर मेरे भी टीचर रह चुके हैं सर, क्योंकि आपने जो 50 रिसर्च मैथमेटिक्स वर्कशॉप किया उसमें से वर्ष 2013 में एक रिसर्च मैथमेटिक्स वर्कशॉप के अंतर्गत मैंने आपसे बहुत कुछ सीखा है सर। और सर आपका सरल स्वभाव और आपका सर जो पढ़ाने का तरीका था वो बहुत ही एक्सीलेंट था। और सर मैं एक बात और बताऊंगा सर, मैं जब आप सेशन खत्म करके निकलते थे तो मैं आपके पीछे लैपटॉप लेके जाता और मैंने आपसे पूछा कि सर मैं फैक्टरांसिस लगा रहा हूं पर मेरा डेटा लग नहीं रहा, केएमओ की वैल्यू नहीं आ रही। तो आपने सर चलते चलते मुझे बताया कि आपकी एक किसी वेरिएबल में स्ट्रिंज वैल्यू आ चुकी होगी, आपकी न्यूमेरिकल नहीं होगी, आप उसको चेक किएगा। मैंने वो किया और सर रियली उस छोटी सी समस्या को आपने चलते चलते सॉल्व किया। तो ऐसी कई समस्याएं जो आप सर चलते चलते विद्यार्थियों की सॉल्व करते हैं। और मैं सभी प्रतिभागियों को एक बार और ये बताना चाहूंगा कि प्रोफेसर भाकर रिसर्च मैथोलॉजी में एक बहुत बड़ा नाम है। और सर मुझे लगता है कि पूरे देश भर में आप एक जाना माना नाम है रिसर्च मैथोलॉजी डेटा एनालिसिस के अंतर्गत। और सभी प्रतिभागियों से एक बार निवेदन यही करूंगा कि जहां भी प्रोफेसर भाकर को आपको सुनने का मौका मिले, वो कई वर्कशॉप कंडक्ट करते हैं, वो रिसोर्स पर्सन के रूप में बुलाए जाते हैं, तो आप इस तरह के वर्कशॉप को ज्वाइन करें। अभी हाल ही में ITM यूनिवर्सिटी एक 14 डेज का वर्कशॉप कंडक्ट कर रही है, जिसमें रिसर्च स्कॉलर के लिए शायद 1500 फीस और फैकल्टी मेंबर के लिए 2000 फीस है। तो आप लोग उसको अटेंड कीजिएगा। 14 डेज का वर्कशॉप है। और सर को मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि सर से यदि आपने एक बार रिसर्च मैथोलॉजी पढ़ी तो वो आपके साथ हमेशा हमेशा के लिए रह जाएगी और आप उससे बहुत कुछ सीखेंगे। तो सर मैं आपसे भी माफी मांगना चाहूंगा कि सर आपके समय से मैंने कुछ मिनट चुरा लिए। तो मैं विनम्र निवेदन करूंगा प्रोफेसर एस भाकर सर से कि वो आए और अपना वक्तव्य प्रारंभ करें। सर प्रोफेसर भाकर सर, स्वागत है सर आपका।
थैंक यू कपिल, आपने बहुत ज्यादा बोल दिया है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। अब ये आज का हमारा प्रोग्राम शुरू करेंगे। आज ABC पर हमारा आज का ये सेशन है। academic bank of credit. ये academic, before I come to my presentation, I will be, अच्छा मुझे share screen का right दे दीजिए कपिल जी. उन क्रेडिट को हम अपना क्रेडिट को यूज कर सकते हैं, एक्यूमुलेट कर सकते हैं, ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं. तो ये जस्ट लाइक बैंक्स रिडीम कर सकते हैं. जैसे आपके पास में बैंक में कुछ यदि कोई आपके पास अकाउंट है तो उसमें जिस तरह से आप पैसा डिपॉजिट कर सकते हैं, विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, एक्यूमुलेट कर सकते हैं, और कोई सर्टिफिकेट है तो उसको रिडीम कर सकते हैं, राइट. जैसे डिबेंचर वगैरह कुछ है तो उसी तरह का फैसिलिटी ये एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट्स है. और एकेडमिक का मतलब है इसमें केवल एकेडमिक क्रेडिट्स होंगे, तो केवल एकेडमिक रिलेटेड क्रेडिट उसमें डिपॉजिट किए जा सकते हैं. दैट मीन्स एकेडमिक क्रेडिट का ही प्रोसेसिंग के लिए ये फैसिलिटी बनी है, ऑनलाइन है. और इसमें जो क्रेडिट्स एक बार आपने अर्न कर लिए हैं वो you can utilize those. I mean, you can redeem those for up to 7 years, and for some they also depend on the type of program for which you have deposited the credits. जो लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोग्राम्स हैं, जैसे 5 years प्रोग्राम है, उनके लिए 7 साल से भी ज्यादा साल तक बाद तक आप उसको रिडीम कर सकते हैं. तो एक बार आपने क्रेडिट्स जमा किए तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको वो क्रेडिट विद इन द ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द कोर्स वर्क या विद इन द ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द प्रोग्राम आपको रिडीम करने. उसको लंबा समय दिया गया है ताकि आप काफी देर बाद तक भी उसको रिडीम कर सकें. तो वी विल गो थ्रू ए प्रेजेंटेशन. ऐसे बात करने के बजाय थोड़ा सा स्ट्रक्चर्ड हो जाएगा, और थोड़ा प्रेजेंटेशन में there will be a lot of data, there will be a lot of text on slides, and that I have deliberately put in so that I can actually share it with you at the end of our session, and you can have it with you, so that you don't need any additional descriptive document that to work on ABC or to utilize ABC. All right, so you would find there will be a lot of text which generally I don't use. I use only phrases and very few phrases on slides, but this is a different, because this is new. ABC is a very new facility, and to explain that to different people, you can utilize these slides to make presentations elsewhere, and therefore I have kept a lot of text on that. Okay, so let's go to slides here. Okay, are you able to see this presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's
Visible
visible.
है, ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया. So we can.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, thank you. Then we
Thank
can
you, sir.
start. Ji. All right. Now, before I go on to actually ABC, we need to understand credits and why or how the credits have come to the education in India. It's not very long that we started using credit system in India, and so we need to understand that credit system in India, and then we will go on to ABC, right? So starting with that, we know that nowadays a large number of universities, in fact majority of the universities, have already started choice-based credit system, CBCS. In fact, CBCS started in majority of universities in 2005. And a large number of them actually adopted between 2005 to 2018-19. And today, if you look at majority of universities are using CBCS system. Give and take, very few universities that may not be using CBCS for limited number of programs. For you probably won't find a university that is not using CBCS at all. Okay, for some or the other program, the universities must be using CBCS. Now, what is this CBCS, and what are credits, and how those credits are actually used for computing, say, semester grade point, or average grade, or cumulative average grade. So we will be looking at that, and then we will go on to the academic bank of credits. So we all know that choice-based credit system has been used in education in India, and it offers choice to the students to opt for courses and subjects of their choice. That's the first, and ABC recognizes that the students have choice to opt for different programs to do same degree, and they can do it has gone beyond that, and they can do that from different institutions. That is the basis of ABC, that a student taking admission in an institution doesn't have to do all the programs from that institution, that he can do it from other institutions also. We'll be looking at that as we progress. So, and the courses, as we all know, that are classified under core courses, elective courses, open or global elective, we can call them out of elective, and foundation courses, that is skill-based courses, etc. And unlike traditional courses wherein we used to give marks and compute percentages, CBCS is a grading system, and it is based on the number of credits earned by the student every semester. So we first will try and understand what this credit system is, and then we will move on to how these credits will be deposited in the depository ABC, and how they can be redeemed, and how can they be accumulated, transferred, etc. A credit, a unit by which the coursework is measured. We all know that it determines the number of hours of instructions required per week. And we generally associate a single credit, 1 unit, 1 credit equal to 1 hour of teaching per week, 1 hour of theory per week, or 2 hours of practical or field work. Okay, that is 1 hour of lecture or theory lecture, and or 2 hours of practical or field work are equivalent, and therefore they per week, that is, they can be called credit. But this is for 1 credit for 6 months, that is semester system. For an annual system, this definition naturally changes, and it becomes half of this gets you a credit for annual program. So we will be concentrating only on semester programs and will not look at the annual program. And features of CBCS is learner-centric, because it gives choice to the student. He can choose subjects. It's not a 100% structured program that a student has to undergo. We all know that in traditional degrees, what we used to have was that all the subjects used to be listed, and every student had to undergo all those programs. In CBCS, we provide flexibility to the student to select, not only the core electives or subject-related program-related electives. He can also select global electives, that is, the subjects that are not related to the program directly, and to acquire additional knowledge. So those global electives skill-based electives can also be, or the basic courses can also be included in the student can select. So choice of selecting subjects. Now CBCS still had some limitations. That is, you had to do all those from a single institution. Once you take admission, you have to, throughout the program, you had to study from the same institution. You had opportunity to undergo programs that were not part of the same specialization or same program. They could be of the other specializations or other domains. That means multidisciplinary programs from the other disciplines you could do, but then you had to do it in the same institution. Okay, but ABC is going to change that. Okay. There are non-credit courses also that are taught in universities. In CBCS system, there are subjects that you need to get a satisfactory result, and the credits are not counted towards computing your SGPA or CGPA, right? So they will be, you need to pass those programs. That is important, right? And see, there are three categories of programs. That is core courses, elective courses. Those are discipline-specific elective courses, and general elective and project, etc., and ability enhancement courses. These are three groups. So in I'll need to take this. मैडम मैं एक सेशन में हूँ. Hello. Okay, this is not. We find that all three groups are included in the balance to get effective and balanced result, right? So, and cafeteria approach in choice of subject is used. That means a student is provided with a wide choice, and the student can pick up from those choices. But then there are core courses that any student has to necessarily complete, and from electives, the student discipline-specific electives, the student has to choose a minimum number of programs. In addition to that, the student gets flexibility, that is general electives and ability enhancement courses, etc., that the student does. So that is the flexibility that the student gets. And we don't use percentages, we use grading. And how grading is done, we will be looking at now. We have seen this. I'm sure every one of us are, I'm sorry, there's a spelling mistake, outstanding. I'll correct that after that. I will not stop. This is outstanding, the second column. First column indicates level, that is letter grade, grade point, and marks range. And then in levels, there are outstanding, excellent, very good, good, average, above average, average, poor, fail, and absent. And the symbols that are used are O for outstanding, A plus for excellent, A for very good, and so on. Now, underneath there are marks range, that if you get more than 90%, you get 10, then you get outstanding, 80 to 90, you get A plus, and so on. Right. So, and it is not that the answer sheets have to be evaluated based on percentages. You can also put a grade directly, and but then it is considered that if that grade is there, that means marks are between these two limits. Okay, so you can keep that at the back of your mind, even if you don't evaluate based on percentages. So once they are there, if a student has got these marks, they can, these are the marks that a student would get in individual subjects. This is the selection for individual subjects. And then for every semester, a student's SGPA can be calculated. And that SGPA would be the grade point multiplied by the credits, summation of that for all subjects, and divided by the number of credits for all subjects. Now that would give you the semester grade average point and point average. And for computing it for the whole course, the final CGPA, cumulative grade point average, now that is computed by having SGPA and number of credits for each semester. So SGPA multiplied by credits for all semesters summated and divided by summation of all the credits in the whole program. Now that gives you CGPA. So for a student, SGPA and CGPA are computed in CBCS system the way that I talked about, and that every university that is using CBCS is already following that. So majority of you would all be knowing. But still, I thought before I move on to ABC, it is important that we understand this because we are going to deal with credits only throughout ABC, and credits only would be stored in ABC's account of a student, and credits only will be moved from there, and they can be redeemed in terms of certificate, diploma, or degree program. Right. So what is academic bank of credits? It is an academic service mechanism, and it is in the form of digital or virtual entity. It is managed by Ministry of Education, central government, or on their behalf, UGC, to facilitate students to become its academic account holders. That means students can open accounts there. But let me tell you that students cannot directly open their accounts in ABC. It is only once the institution, higher education institution, or that can be a university or an institution, that has to be first open the account in the ABC, and then the students of that institution can open account in the ABC. It facilitates students to become account holders and paving the way for seamless student mobility. What does it mean, seamless student mobility? See, today, when a student wants to move from one institution to the other institution, he needs to take a transfer certificate from the institution and take all the mark sheets, etc., from that institution, and then the other institution actually accepts them, and then further study can be done in the other institution. In case of once the ABC is fully operational, then a student doesn't have to take or will not have to take any transfer certificate from any institution. He can move to another institution, and the credits, academic credits accumulated by him in previous institution would be transferred to the new institution, and that are available to the new institution. So it is a seamless process, not affected by anybody. It can be transferred between or within degree granting higher education. Why between and why within? Within degree granting institution means if you are doing a course from another discipline, then those credits also can be transferred to the student's account, because all the credits earned by the student would be in the student's account. So whether they are earned within the domain, that is within their school of study, etc., or in another discipline, those credits are earned. They are all available together. So those can be transferred or they can be moved within degree granting higher education, within or between institutions. And the system would be a formal credit recognition system, and credits can also be accumulated by, that means a student undergoing a program in one university or an institution can earn some credits from that institution. He can also earn some credits from another discipline in the same university or institution. He can earn some credits from another institution, and that is not of part of that university, and still those credits could be or will be counted towards his degree or diploma or whatever program he is doing. And there are though limits that at least 30%, and in some cases 40%, 50% of the credits have to be earned from the university or institution in which the student has taken admission. What it means is that a student, say, takes admission in one university, he can earn up to 70%, 50 to 70% of the credits in another or other institutions. And he can transfer, or he can get those credits transferred to his account, or they are already there in his account. He can get those counted towards the accumulation of degree or diploma, whatever program he is doing, and they will be counted towards that. So that this is what academic bank of credit is. What are the objectives? What does academic bank of credits do? To promote students' centricity. That means now the student becomes focused and not institutions. And it is the student who's going to decide whether he's going to do a program in one university, or he would move out from one university to the other university as for pursuing that program, or he will continue pursuing that program from one university, but will pursue 50% of the courses from other university or universities. That means at the same time, a student may be undergoing a number of courses from multiple universities, and that brings online education also in focus, because when a student is doing courses from multiple universities, and those credits a student want to accumulate, credits earned through online education, that is approved online education only, SWAM, etc., are approved online portals, or the correspondence programs that are offered by the universities can be will also be counted as credits earned by the student. And so it becomes totally student centric. That what not only that the student gets flexibility in terms of choosing the subjects that he would like to pursue, in addition to the minimum required for a particular degree, he can he can pursue number of, or he can earn credits by pursuing subjects that are not in the same discipline, and so he learns he learns subjects from multiple disciplines. Now, so this is one, and with the learner-friendly approaches in higher education across the country. So we've understood that. Promote enhanced interdisciplinary approach in higher education. That also I have talked about. A student can earn the credits from multiple disciplines from within the same HEI, higher education institution, that's university or institutions, or from any other higher education institution. Enable students to select best courses, combination of courses to suit their aptitude and knowledge thirst. That naturally, now student is at focus. Student has liberty to choose whatever courses or combination of courses that he would like to pursue. At times you find a student is not good at a particular subject, and if that is not part of the core subjects, a student can do an alternative program instead of that, and credit for that, and complete his degree or diploma. So that's the flexibility that a student get. And also at times a student is keen to learn some courses from different disciplines. In a structured program, we didn't have that facility. ABC in fact opens that to permit students to choose a pace for their studies along with the associated logistics and cost. Now, NEP 2020 actually has given this flexibility to the student that he can exit a program and say join job or his own business or anything, and he comes back and again starts from where he had left. That means whatever credits he had earned, he or she had earned before leaving the program are actually accumulated, and he can accumulate more credits and redeem them for a diploma or a degree. Now, you see that students can leave multiple times and come back multiple times, join the programs multiple times. So they can accumulate these courses in piecemeal, these credits in piecemeal, and complete a degree. Okay, so that kind of flexibility the student is going to get. So he can move on his own pace. He doesn't have to move at the pace that is determined by the university or HEI. Continuing with the objectives, to allow students to tailor their degree or make specific modifications, specializations, rather than undergoing the rigid regulatory prescribed degree courses of a single university or autonomous college. And that's what we do have today. That is rigid regulatory prescribed degree courses. And a student has to necessarily do it from one university autonomous college or take a transfer and take readmission in another university or autonomous college. And that too, if there are courses that he has not done in his previous university, the student has to necessarily complete that. That means some equivalence will be worked out, and then he will be asked to carry out, or he will be asked to do a number of subjects that as back papers that he might have not studied in the previous institution or university. Now that would not be required anymore. To enable multiple entry, multiple exits, I talked about, and that would be there. Providing mobility across various disciplines. A student now can move between disciplines, and he can also, he gets the flexibility to complete a certificate program, redeem his credits for a certificate program, a diploma program, degree program. That means a student can leave after 1 year, get a diploma, get a certificate, leave after 2 years, get a diploma, leave after 3 years, get a degree, and then come back and complete the diploma if he has done certificate program, and come back and complete a degree if he has done certificate or a diploma program. So that kind of a flexibility is there. And this also involves coursework for PhD. That means mobility is also available to PhD students to pursue their coursework. That means a student pursuing PhD program from one university can actually complete coursework from another university. Right, so even that kind of a flexibility would be there. That means if a student finds a good guide in one university, but finds that the coursework provided by that university is not good, so he does his coursework from another university and completes his PhD from another university. Even that would be, that flexibility would be available. To support procedurally the teaching learning activities to happen in a distributed and blended manner. So this is what will be the support provided by this, that a student can do his studies in a blended manner. Some courses he can do online, some courses he can do correspondence, and some courses he can do full-time. So that is possible now. And that is through integration across campuses, universities, and autonomous colleges with increased mobility. And student can move between them as well. Right, so that these are the objectives, give and take, of ABC. How is ABC organized? Okay, so what is an ABC? We've already seen that is a digital or virtual online storehouse that will store the entity of that will store credit data base of HEIs, higher education institutions, with students as its stakeholders. What it means is that the credits cannot be registered or cannot be transferred or saved by the student. Credits will be transferred by the HEIs to ABC. Once they are in ABC, the student can get them transferred to any other HEI. That means initially, if a student wants to register some credits in his account, they cannot be directly credited. It is the institution that would credit those credits, and then those credits are available to the student, and he can use them. He can redeem them whenever he wants. And ABC, we already know National Academic Depository, which is already existing, and ABC is being established on those lines only. This National Academic Depository was to deposit your digital mark sheets and degrees, etc. That you don't have to carry your physical mark sheet or degree, and you can have all those on National Academic Depository. Wherever you go, they are considered authentic. So that's already existing. So ABC is going to be established on those lines, and but then this is going to be established as a special purpose vehicle. That means it will have, it will not have, it is a special purpose vehicle. That means it is for accumulating the credits, earning credits, accumulating credits, transferring credits, and redeeming credits. Okay, it's the total, that is boundary is there for ABC, and it can only be allowed to do that. Okay. ABC shall be a bank for academic purposes on the pattern of commercial bank for financial purposes, with students as account holders, to whom the ABC shall provide a variety of service, including credit verification, credit accumulation, credit transfer, redemption, and degree authentication. However, as I said earlier, that the students directly cannot, cannot, register or cannot save their credits or cannot deposit their credits directly. The credits are deposited by the students through the institutions only. Okay, Shilpa. Organizational structure. ABC cannot award degrees. The degrees will be awarded by the institutions which have powers to award degrees. That means universities right now, and NEP envisages that the degree, the institutions would also get the powers to award degrees in due course of time. So that time, HEIs which are approved as degree awarding will only award degrees, right? So that means ABC can register your credits, hold your credits, and accumulate credits, but it cannot award degrees, even if the credits are equal enough for awarding a degree. Degree will still be awarded by the institutions, and it will act as empowered body by UGC MOE to provide authenticated records of credits earned by students from approved HEIs. What it means is that these credits need not be approved once it is stored in ABC. They need not be reapproved by HEIs for transferring to another institution or for authentication. Like today, if an organization wants to know whether a student has actually scored those percentage of marks, or student has actually done a particular degree or not, so the organization actually gets it authenticated from the institution HEI, from where the student has done that degree. It will not more be needed because the organizations can get that authentication done through ABC. So that would be another benefit to the student and the organizations. The credit requirements as well as essential components. Who will decide that how many credits are required for a particular degree or a diploma or a certificate program? Can ABC decide that? No, ABC cannot decide that. They will still be decided by the whatever degree, etc., would be defined by universities and institutions providing those. That means how many credits from core courses somebody has to done, somebody has to do, how many from the subjects from the specialization, or we call them that the flexibility in the same domain that the student gets, how many credits from there and how many from global a student can do. So that would have to be decided by the universities and CIs responsible for awarding degrees, and those have to be followed. That means the student has to accumulate those many credits in those categories, then a student can be awarded degree or a diploma or a certificate. ABC shall provide to each student the facility to open an unique individual academic bank account. That means only when a student actually gives access to his academic bank account, then only any other organization or anybody can see the marks earned or credits earned by the student, and not otherwise. So a student would be provided a unique individual academic bank account wherein he can open that through a password, right? A password would be provided to him. So it is not that organizations who want to authenticate anybody's degree, that means it is not anybody who wants to see what the other person is doing can see. No, they will, that confidentiality will still be maintained. And it is the student who has to give that permission, and then only the organization can see that. Each account holder would be provided with a unique ID and standard operating procedure, how the account can be operated as in bank's case. ABC shall deposit credits awarded by approved HEIs for courses pursued therein in the academic account of the student. Validity of credits for award, degree, diploma would be as per UGC MOE guidelines, but right now that validity has been fixed as 7 years minimum, and it can be extended depending upon the duration of the program. These are defined by UGC MOE guidelines and norms defined from time to time. However, ABC shall not accept any credit course document directly from the students, as I said earlier, and shall entertain such documents as valid only when they are transmitted by the respective registered HEIs awarding the credits. Otherwise, you know, students, otherwise it will become open to foul play. If it is through students, if it is even students are permitted to get the credits registered, then it is open to all those fraudulent acts, and therefore that is not permitted. Functions, if you look at continuing, the major function of ABC are registration of HEIs. Yes, I said that earlier, that students directly cannot register initially. First, the HEI has to, the students can register, but there are conditions for HEI to register. Right now, not every HEI is permitted to register in ABC. Maybe later on, some flexibility would be provided. But right now, higher education institutions that are NAC-A accredited or plus, that means NAC-A or higher accredited or equivalent accreditation. Equivalent doesn't mean program-based accreditations like NBA, etc., will not be considered as a basis for an institution or HEIs to register in ABC. It is only NAC or overall accreditation of the university or institution that would be considered, and not less than A. Then only a institution can register. Once that has been done, then the students studying in that HEI can open their accounts, and then they can open or close accounts of the students. Credit verification, credit accumulation, credit transfer, redemption of students can only be done once the student has registered through HEI. Okay, and also promotion of ABC among stakeholders is the responsibility of these institutions. That means these institutions will have to open counseling cells for promoting ABC. What it means is that courses undergone by students through online mode or correspondence will also be accepted, like SWAM, NPTEL, VLab. Okay, but then only from specified universities will be considered for credit transfer and credit accumulation, not by any online source. Courses from any online source cannot be considered for earning credits. The function of ABC are not limited to distance or non-contact mode. It shall be an amalgamation of various existing and futuristic teaching learning models. It may also consider credits by students for theory or practical if they are offered as separate credit courses. Now, right now, we know that generally these credits are cumulative. That means in total, that a course, if it has 4 credits, that means theory and practice both combined together, or theory and practical both combined together will be 4. And we can't say that 3 credits have been earned through theory and 1 through practical, or vice versa. That cannot be said right now. But when the ABC becomes functional, even that would become a possibility. That means how many credits in practical and how many credits in theory have been earned by the students, they will be separately recorded. The norms in respect to curriculum content, curriculum transaction, we can understand these will be naturally in the domain of the universities, and maybe if required by the UGC, and these norms would still remain with the universities. Curriculum transaction, education technology for the courses offered, their timing, continuous evaluation methods, attendance, and novel methods of assessment shall be as decided by the registered universities or autonomous and affiliated colleges in accordance with the overall policy and philosophy of holistic multidisciplinary education proposed by NEP 2020. So what will be guiding force will be NEP 2020, but that doesn't mean that no, students have flexibility in that. Students don't have flexibility in that. That responsibility lies with universities, institutions. Okay. Functions continuing for, as I had said earlier, that the credits earned will be can be redeemed or can be utilized for further education for a maximum period of 7 years, and they can also be specified separately by ABC for different subject disciplines, but that would be more than 7 years. Minimum is 7 years, and credit redemption or credit transfer or credit updation, credit accumulation actually, that can be done based on the credits that have been earned once they are available to the person for next 7 years. So he can rejoin after 7 years, within 7 years, and can continue the study. While ABC is supposed to encompass all higher education programs coming under the purview of UGC, professional degree programs under engineering, medical, dental, law, shall also be included under ABC with due approval from appropriate statutory or regulatory professional councils. Majority of these councils have already accepted to be part of ABC, and the remaining are working on. And I'm pretty sure that within a very small time frame, less than 6 months, all the statutory and regulatory bodies, the courses which are approved by other statutory and regulatory bodies for professional education will also be accepting this ABC, and they will develop SOPs for their purpose. And those, that means all those programs would also be part of the ABC in any case. ABC also would facilitate credit recognition and credit redemption process for students who may choose all. Now, till now, I have said that a student has to undergo some core courses and allied some specializations or some courses which are related to the domain of the program. So, and which will be decided by the university or HEI. But ABC would facilitate a degree to be awarded to student who does not adhere to any of these. That means a student can do any programs in any discipline, but he needs to accumulate the minimum required credits for UC. And generally you find they vary between say 130, 32 to 160. There's variation in that depending upon 3 years, 4 years degree, and depending upon the university's curriculum and number of subjects they offer. But then when a university has decided that a UG degree of 3 years will be awarded on accumulation of 140 credits, then a student, when he accumulates those 140 credits from different disciplines without adhering to any norms, then also the student will get a degree. But that degree will be called the Bachelor of Liberal Education. So Bachelor of Liberal Education, a student can earn without adhering to any norms of the university or higher education in terms of the subjects to be studied. Though in terms of percentages to be earned and the credits to be earned, etc., the specified credits have to be earned. And universities and autonomous institutions, as I had stated earlier, not every institution or university can actually become member of an ABC. Right now, only specified universities and HEIs will be permitted, and that is based on NAC A grade, NAC accreditation at least A grade level and better, and equivalent national equivalent rating, equivalent accreditation if that is provided for the whole university or institution, and not program-wise accreditations. I said earlier also that accreditations like NBA, etc., cannot be the basis for participating in ABC. And if an institution or university is accredited A in the beginning, and then later on in the second round the university or institution does not get that A, what is going to happen to that institution? The institution would be out of ABC. However, the students who are already studying in that university and who have already registered in ABC will continue to enjoy the facility of the credits accumulated in ABC scheme. That means the students would not be at a loss, but the institutions would become out of. Now, when this institution is out of this ABC, can such an institution accept students from institutions that are part of ABC? not through ABC. The student can still take transfer to such institutions, but that such transfer would be in the same manner in which the transfers take place today. That means this transfer of credits through ABC would happen only if both the institutions, the student is studying in a particular institution today, and students wants to switch to another institution tomorrow. So both institutions should be part of the ABC. Then the transfer would take place through ABC. If that is not the case, then transfer would take place manually and not through ABC. And right now, that issue is there that an institution or university has to be NAACE accredited. And as I stated earlier, that these credits would remain in the remain available to the students for redemption, or for further accumulation. But after that, they would be lost. So that means a student who wants to come back and complete his degree, diploma, or post-graduation, etc., we will have to do that within that specified time. Otherwise, the credits earned earlier would be lost. While ABC shall encompass all higher education institutions coming under this, professional degree programs under engineering, this will be included under ABC with due approval. That also I talked about. ABC shall also facilitate the credit recognition and credit redemption process for students who may choose 100%. We talked about be liberal. The participating HEIs of above categories should obtain the approval from their respective statutory bodies like governing council. See, what happens is that you want to be part of ABC, and that means who would take a decision that the institution can participate in ABC or not. It is not left to the head of institution. That is, say, in case of an institution, a director, or in case of a university, Vice-Chancellor can take a decision. No. The statutory bodies like governing council, syndicate, in some universities we call syndicate, or board of management, academic council, etc. They will have to take a decision to participate in ABC scheme. And then only when the institution provides that the permission of governing council or syndicate or board of management or academic council has been obtained. Unless that is done, ABC will not accept that HEI in to allow to register. Participating HEIs would be required to give admission in individual. Now, this is another very important area, that if suppose a student can complete 70% of the courses from other institutions, and he need to pursue only 30% or in some cases 50% courses in the institution wherein he is registered for the degree. Now, how can the institution charge fees for the program? Because he is not studying for the whole program in that university or institution. The fees will have to then worked out based on courses, and the total fee paid by the student in that university would be equivalent to or for the programs that he pursues from that university or institution, and remaining fee he is going to pay to the other institutions where he is going to do these programs, right? So that means the fee right now, which is actually mentioned for a particular program for a year, or that per year fee, or for the whole program, you find those would not be suitable, and those would not be acceptable, right? So the fees have to be worked out from course wise, and the total fee would be paid to the institution would be depending upon how many courses the student actually undergoes from a particular higher education institution, right? And now that can lead to actually chaos. That means in some institutions and in some programs, a very large number of students might actually move to. If in some institution you find that a very well-known teacher is there, and teacher is acceptable across institutions. So a very large number of students from studying in different institutions would probably like to study that program, that course from that teacher. Now, can that be permitted? That is, can every student who is interested to learn from a particular teacher in a particular institution be permitted? No, that's not possible. Only institutions are permitted to accommodate only 20% supernumerary seats only for each course, over and above the sanctioned seats of a program or course, subject to rectification by the concerned statutory regulatory professional council, like say for MBA or engineering AICTE, or Council of Nursing for nursing, Council of Pharmacy for pharmaceutical programs, or ICAR for ICAR accredited agricultural programs, etc. Right? So only 20% additional. Now, what this 20% mean? Right now, in number of programs, the universities or institutions are already permitted to register or to admit 10% students of low income, wherein they will be provided free studies, etc. Now, this 20% will be over and above that, and it will not be counted in that. So this 20% will be additional. Can the mic be switched off? The person who's speaking.
All the participants, please mute your mobile. Participants, please.
वो 6% की बजाय 4% पे आया है, तो वो कौन सा परचेस करेगा? जो सामने वाला है जिसको आप सेल कर रहे हैं वो 100 रुपए वाला जो 6% पे है, उसको आप उसको परचेस कर लेगा.
I won't be able to go like that. The controlling person who is taking care of can
Yes,
mute
sir,
everyone.
we are doing, sir.
Okay. कि अगर मार्केट का इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज होता है तो बॉन्ड प्राइस क्या हो जाएंगे? डिक्रीज हो जाएंगे. ठीक है? क्यों? एग्जांपल मैंने आपको बताया, आपने कोई 100 रुपए का 100 रुपए आपने इन्वेस्ट किए, उसमें 6% इंटरेस्ट रेट मिल रहा है. ठीक है? और मार्केट में कितना रेट चल रहा है? 8%. तो कोई भी 6%.
So we are doing, actually there is some technical issue.
उसके जस्ट अपोजिट अगर वो 6 रुपए में बेच रहा है, आप 6 रुपए में
please mute her. You can use mute everyone option.
Okay. I think the person has been muted now. Okay.
Yes,
please
sir.
take care. If there is noise background in your background, please mute yourself. That's a better way of doing it, so that when you need to unmute, you don't need to ask permission. But yes, we can't allow such disturbances, because that was too much of a disturbance. All right. So what I was talking about was that HEIs the students would be permitted to admit themselves or move themselves to pursue particular courses from different institutions and universities, but provided that the number does not go beyond 20% above the sanctioned strength, and that includes the current additional sanctioned strength of 10%. All right. And the HEIs need to have the required infrastructural facilities. See, that means when you want to go for ABC, maybe that facilities would be checked, that whether you have audiovisual facilities, etc., or other sources like virtual classrooms, studios, etc., and a high bandwidth of internet required online courses and programs, and other infrastructural facilities for face-to-face or theory practical training courses as specified by UGC or other regulatory bodies from time to time. Now, what it means is that when you are accepting students from other universities, or when the students are taking admission in or they want to pursue some courses from your university, you need to ensure that the required infrastructural facilities are there for those students. Otherwise, they cannot be, permitted to the course from your university or institution. Higher education institutions participating in ABC scheme shall have a web page in their website with details of ABC scheme. List of HEIs and other institutions, because a student should be able to identify the other HEIs that are registered in ABC and to whom or in which he can pursue some courses from those education institutions, or if he wants to transfer to them, he can take transfer to them. So that detail has to be maintained by the HEIs, including the universities, and all the guidelines, SOPs for students need to be there in that website, so that students are well informed, so that students are able to utilize this facility effectively. And a link of that would also be provided on ABC. That means whatever web page you prepare for ABC, a link also would be provided in ABC, so that a student going to from ABC can also go to the concerned higher education institution. Right. So that plus I will tell you that the higher education institution would need to also open counseling cells so that the students can be counseled. Not every student is going to go on the website and check. Some students are forward-looking and they're very vigilant, so they will. But then there are others, students who do not, look at such facilities. So they also need to be informed, and for that, counseling cells need to be opened in universities. Talking about eligibility, we're talking now implementation. Now, as we know that ABC is a credit-based and highly flexible student-centric scheme, implementing that would require understanding not only on the count of students, basically on account of teachers teaching in institutions, because they are the ones who are going to be the ones from where this information would go or would be shared by the students. And they need to know everything about how the ABC is going to function. Though I will tell you that there are still norms being worked out for ABC, because finally, even if we restrict the movement of students among only, say, NACA accredited institutions only, this ABC would be probably be suitable to less than 10% of the institutions in the country, which is the right current number of institutions that are NACA accredited out of the total number of institutions or universities. So it cannot be that it will be made available only to them. But yes, it will take time for the facility to be made accessible to all the institutions. And maybe in given time, institutions would be enabled and would be coerced to go for NAC accreditation and try and obtain at least A. And participating higher education institutions will have to amend their rules in terms of course registration, because course registration cannot be that previously, it cannot be that previous semester to next semester, right? Like all the students who have passed previous semester will be registered in the next semester. That would not be possible now, because there would be some students who would be coming to that higher education institution from other institutions and would register for a particular course. And there will be some students who would not like to pursue that course from the institution in which they are pursuing their degree. So now registration would be for course based. And that is the norm in some of the best institutions in the world. They are already having registrations course-wise. And that is the reason you find that in some courses, there are 500 students a teacher is handling. And in some other courses, you find a teacher is handling only 5 or less than 5 or no students at all. So you'd find that is likely to be there in India. And that is the reason why that 20% limit has been set, so that it doesn't happen that some teachers won't have any student and some teachers would be overburdened. Nobody can teach 500 students in a class, specifically offline class. And a teacher teaching only or teacher not having any teaching workload, what kind of a teacher will that be? So in at least for the time being, the decision is that not more than 20% students can be registered in a course. So others will have no option but to stay put, right? So that benefit is there right now, but I'm sure that then that benefit will go in the long term. We will also be going for the system that is followed by the best universities in the world. Course requirements, acceptance for interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary courses, credits to be offered to these courses, credit transfers, credit acceptance, etc., will have to be decided by HEIs, right? So without their decision, all these cannot be done. Nature of grades to be awarded, etc., with the approval of their statutory bodies like governing council, syndicate, board, management, and academic council. So we find that the institutions will have to amend rules regarding these, because till now they may not be accepting partial credits earned by the students in courses that they've done elsewhere. That means students who have not passed a semester but have earned some credits. That is not being accepted right now. But once ABC comes into practice, the institutions would start accepting credits earned by a student in one subject, per subject, and not overall semester-wise credits. So that for that to happen, the SEIs will have to amend their rules with their after taking decisions in their statutory bodies like governing council, syndicate, etc. And as I said, the students will be able to build their degrees as per their choice, and also across the country. That means they can pursue one course from one university, another from another, but certainly within the limitations of the registered universities' overall broad curriculum. That means universities, once they decide the broad curriculum, and whatever flexibility is provided by the university, you can only take that flexibility. Otherwise, that university may not offer award you degrees. And credit structure has to be followed of the university in which you have taken admission for the degree, with the flexibility of allowing students to acquire credits from courses registered with other institutions. But that is restricted to 50 to 70%. That means 50 to 70% is too large a percentage. But then that is the kind of flexibility that the students would have once ABC is in vogue. 50 to 70% of the courses can be done by or can be completed by the student outside the institution in which the student has registered for PhD, for any degree or diploma, right? So that means the student has to do only 30 to 50% of the courses in the institution wherein he is registered for degree. That means a student would do degree from one institution and may do 50 to 70% courses from the other institutions and not from that institution which awards actually degree. Now, these would naturally have repercussions in the recognition and acceptance of degrees by different organizations. Right now, we know that industry looks at degrees awarded by institutions based on the image of the organization or the university. But the student may only pursue 30% or 50% of the courses in that university or HEI, and remaining all the courses he may do from the other institutions. So now in future, maybe that the organizations would start seeing how many courses or what courses the student has done from which institutions to accept a student as have passed from a credible institution with degree. ABC has a special vehicle shall maintain a dynamic online directory of all the HEIs which satisfy the eligibility criteria, and so that students would also be able to see in ABC which higher education institutions are also satisfying that criteria. Each ABC registered HEI shall provide student counseling and guidance to all students desirous of opening an academic account in ABC. That means once the higher education institution registers in ABC, the higher education institution would also guide students to register on the ABC, and for that counseling sessions will have to be conducted and counseling cell has to be operational. And all details about credit definition, credit accumulation, credit transfer, credit redemption, as well as opening, closure, and validation of students' academic accounts will have to be provided to the students through these counseling cells. Credit earned by students will have to be deposited in their respective academic account of ABC and by the institutions wherein the student is completing those courses for which the credits have to be transferred to ABC, and would have a fully defined self-life at least up to 5 years. Now that has been extended to 7 years now from date of earning the credits or as specified by the credit awarding institutions, whichever is higher, and generally it is 7 and more, for the purpose of its commutation for the award of degree, diploma, PG diploma, certificate, etc. Once the credit is redeemed, now this is important, once the credit is redeemed for the award of above, it would be irrevocably debited from the account of the student. That means a student who has earned some credits for a degree, and suppose he has completed that degree and he has redeemed those credits for that degree. Now he wants to pursue another degree. Now these credits would not be available to him for pursuing that another degree. He has to redo all the programs or and all the credits again, and then only can get another degree. So these credits that have been earned by the students for a particular degree, and once he has redeemed them for a degree, then after that these credits do not remain available to the students to redeem, right? So that's important. Based on sufficiency of the overall total credits earned and types of credits earned, a student can become eligible for award of specified degree, diploma, PG diploma, certificate as per the approved norms of HEI, from where the student seeks the award of degree. And it's only he has to look at these of only the institution that is awarding degree, and not of the institutions from where he is pursuing individual courses. Building or completion of degree requirements could use the method of floating credits, and that's what it is going to be used, and transfer of credits between intra and inter institutions where the credits once used or redeemed cannot be used for another degree, diploma, etc. What are the floating credits? The floating credits are the credits that a student earns from different institutions and not from the institution from where he is doing his degree, diploma, certificate, etc. Now these floating credits can be also redeemed. Since ABC scheme is intended to promote disciplinary administration will get back to you. Appropriate credit requirements can be appointed as core courses, core electives. Now, this is up to the universities that they can decide what will be the core courses, what will be the core electives, what will be the open electives. Open electives will be from other disciplines. And what will be the skill enhancement courses that the person has to do, and ability enhancement electives, etc. Now, they will be decided by the universities or higher education institutions or on approval of the statutory bodies like AICTE, councils, etc. While awarding the degrees, the degree awarding SEIs shall follow the norms and guidelines stipulated by UGC statutory body from time to time in terms of number of credits and duration. Now, they right now the UGC and different agencies have already specified durations, which are going to be modified under NEP 2020 in any case. Like say degree course now, 3 years can get a degree. 4 years can get honors or research degree, and if a student wants to pursue say post graduation, he has to do that 4 years degree and so on. So they are already there in NEP, and so those changes would naturally be made in given time. But you know, all those to get a degree or earn a degree, the guidelines stipulated by UGC or the statutory bodies that actually regulates that program will have to be adhered to. And ABC has no powers to give any relaxation. A student wants to get degree under ABC scheme after earning the stipulated credits can avail a relaxation of maximum of 1 semester, provided the duration of degree program is of 2 years or more, 4 semesters or more. Right? What does it mean? A student seeking degree under the ABC scheme after earning the stipulated credits can avail a relaxation of maximum of 1 semester. This means for redemption. Okay, once the student has already completed the degree, whatever required credits are there, now he can redeem those within next 6 months. Okay, so it is not that those credits he can keep for 7 years. He can keep those for 7 years only when he is leaving the program and joining back. Okay, once he has completed the degree or diploma, then he has to redeem that within 6 months for a 2 years program, and for the programs that are longer, this duration can be extended. And as I said, the fee fixation has to be based on course-wise. It cannot be program-wise, because a student may do part of the programs from other universities or institutions. So that means registrations will have to be course-wise now instead of the program-wise registrations that take place currently. Now, this is a huge change for institutions and universities, wherein we promote a student to the next semester. And when we promote a student to the next semester, that means he gets registered to the next semester. Whereas under ABC, he is not going to be registered for all the courses that would be provided by the institution in that semester. He will be registered in the courses that he would like to pursue from that university. And for the remaining courses, he can register elsewhere in other institutions. So that difference is very, very significant. There would be a credit processing fee to be paid. Yes, this naturally, ABC is going to not going to be funded by the government. So it is going to be funded by the institutions and students. That means there will be a participation fee for institutions, and there will be a participation fee for the students. Right, so that would be there. There would be a credit processing fee to be paid by the registered students to ABC for maintaining the student's academic bank account and related functions. And it would be fixed appropriately so that every student can use it, and it shouldn't be so high that the students are unable to use this facility. Because the government would like this facility to be popular. So in the beginning, at least, the cost or the fee, processing fee would be very, very low. Shall be responsibility of implementation methodology. It shall be responsibility of university concerned as per the guidelines prescribed by VC to monitor the development and operationalization of the ABC program at the university level and at their affiliated autonomous, non-autonomous colleges level. Now, this is for affiliating universities, government universities that affiliate large number of institutions. That application of ABC in those institutions would be the responsibility of the affiliating university. That means the work of the power was disconnected, so I had lost connection. I have rejoined, and I don't know whether the slides are still visible. Are they?
No, sir.
Is the slide visible?
Not visible.
I knew it will not be visible. So we'll have to. I will be. We will have to reshare. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I knew it will not be visible once the power is gone. Okay. As I had said, that the affiliating universities will have now more responsibility when ABC comes into force, because those universities will now be also taking care of the and use of ABC by the institutions that are affiliated to them, right? So this is another responsibility that would be assigned to the affiliating universities. Implementation continuing. The universities offer the teacher staff training, mentoring, mentoring, academic and administrative or the measure of improving quality performance of ABC scheme, promotion of holistic multidisciplinary education with the support of ABC. What it means is that all the universities will have to offer mentoring and training, etc., to administrative and audit staff and academic, that means teachers, so that everyone understands what ABC is, and we can use this holistic multidisciplinary education system that is supported by ABC properly in those universities. So training has to be provided to everyone, and it has to be continuous, because there will be influx of staff members and faculty members, and there will be people who will be leaving universities, etc. So these trainings will have to be ongoing and not once. And faculty, so that's the reason why faculty development programs, quality improvement programs, professional development programs, and technology inculcation programs with respect to implementation of ABC will have to be developed and would have to be conducted so that everyone in the university knows what ABC is, how to implement it, how to use it best, and how can we facilitate our students to take all the benefits of ABC. Quality assurance of the ABC implementation at the registered university, autonomous, non-autonomous colleges level shall be developed by the university college concerned, either through the, now they can take or they can make use of IQAC, which is already existing in majority of the institutions, universities. Any institution, university which has gone in for NAC accreditation would have IQAC, which has gone in for even program-based accreditations like NBA, etc., would also have internal quality assurance cell in the universities. So they can give this responsibility also to IQAC, which can actually conduct these programs and ensure that the members of that institution or university actually know everything about ABC, so that maximum benefits can be taken, or any other appropriate structured mechanism. It is not essential that only IQAC should be used. Mechanisms like CQC for ODL, online education institutions, etc., can also be used. Right. So, but then instead of starting a new quality assurance cell, it will be better to use the existing one for online CQC or ODL online education. They are already existing, and for offline quality assurance cell is already existing in majority of institutions. So that is better to use that. Universities or autonomous colleges individually accredited by NAC A for ABC and implementing the ABC scheme shall upload on its website the annual report of ABC scheme implemented by it, and annual report should contain the number of students who have registered under ABC, and the other details like how many students have undergone courses that are offered by the university and how many students have undergone courses offered by other universities. Even details like that would need to be maintained. ABC scheme and measures taken by quality assurance, quality sustenance, and quality enhancement in improving the acceptability of ABC and in improving the application or implementation. Be a ABC grievance redressal mechanism, so that any grievance related to use of ABC, like say credit transfer, have to take place at right time for the student to take advantage of moving to the other institutions or universities. If a university in which a student has earned credits does not transfer those credits on right time, the student may lose out on moving to another institution or university. So that can create a problem, right? So a grievance redressal cell has to be instituted, or has to be there at the level of National Ministry of Education, UGC, ABC, so that such reports by students can be made to these agencies, so that action can be taken, and the students' harassment can be reduced, and the student can be assured that once he is registered under ABC, the institutions or universities cannot stop him from doing courses from other institutions or universities, or moving out to other institutions and coming back to the same institution as and when the student wants to, right? So that a grievance cell would take care of that. And one or two more slides. Finally, we are there. Penalties for institutions for violating. If a university or autonomous college is registered with ABC and does not fulfill the conditions, requirements for implementation of ABC scheme, as per these guidelines, the ABC and any other appropriate penal punishment as decided by the commission. Now, this can be absolutely serious for institutions if such action is taken, and institutions that are not part of ABC would not be permitted to take students from the institutions that are part of ABC, and that can create serious issues for institutions that are not part of ABC. So in an institution which is part of ABC and loses out on being part of ABC can be very, very serious for such institutions. So with that, we come to the end of presentation. I'm open to questions. Now 3 o'clock, I was supposed to start another session somewhere else. But now, since we started slightly late, we will spend about 5-10 minutes so that any queries that the members have can be taken care of. So I'm available now. Any questions can be asked. You can please unmute all the participants so that they can ask questions in voice, or you can take up questions on chat and then share the questions with me. I would
Excuse me, sir.
Ji.
Namaste ji, thank you for the opportunity.
Ji.
They told that the Bachelor of Liberal Education will be the one degree. Who will award that degree, sir?
Bachelor of Education will be, see, the student will have to register.
No, liberal education, Bachelor of Liberal.
No, for liberal also, student will have to university or a institution, and then what liberal education, the flexibility that the liberal education gives is that he can, instead of pursuing, say, for a engineering degree, we have a some specified courses that he has to do. For science, he has to do some specified courses. For arts, he has to do some specified courses. But suppose if he doesn't follow that and decides on his own, whatever programs he likes, he wants to pursue that and earns as much credits as are required for a degree. Maybe from the 30% to 50% from the institution wherein he has registered as a student for degree. Right? So he can get that liberal degree from the institution wherein he is registered. Such degrees cannot be awarded by ABC. ABC does not have those powers. And they cannot be awarded by any other institution. They have to be awarded by degree awarding institutions. And there Professor Kanchan, can I be permitted to leave?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Sir, Kapil sir will give vote of thanks, sir. Then we can.
Okay.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच. आपने जो जानकारी दी है, बहुमूल्य जानकारी, ये एनईपी से रिलेटेड, ये सर हमारे प्रतिभागियों के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी.
Somebody is asking some question.
और मैं आप
पूछ रहे हैं पीछे से.
जी सर, आपका प्रश्न है, कोई पूछ सकता है?
May I, sir?
हाँ जी.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can you explain how this credit-based system is efficient than a traditional marks system, marks awarding system? Can you enlighten us, sir?
See, what is the basic problem with the your marks system is that every institution has its own way of awarding marks, and how will you consider them as equivalent? And that is the reason why some earlier institutions could not provide this flexibility, that you can do it some parts from one institution, other from others, and so on. So the one reason is that because this credit system has that flexibility, it actually one credit is given for a width of 10% marks, right? So it is considered that variation more than that would not happen. So whether a student studies from institution A or institution Z, the credits earned by that student can be considered as equivalent. That is one part. The second part with that is that this credit system is also, it indicates how much time a student has spent in studying. See, in marks, we don't know how many hours teaching was done to him. Credit system actually counts that. You see the timetable, and you find that some subjects may be given 1 hour, and the subject is evaluated on 100 marks, and another subject is given 4, like say mathematics, and we always give that quantitative subjects are given all 6 days period, and some subjects are given 1 period per day, and finally we give them score out of 100. How can these two subjects be equivalent? A subject that is taught 6 days a week for 4 months in a semester, and a subject that is taught only once per week for 4 months. The total number of classes that would be conducted for in a semester would be about 100 when a subject is taught every day, and when a subject is taught only once every day, once per week, you find the total number of classes would be only 16, and both are going to be equivalent subjects. One where only 16 classes have been held, and another when 100 classes have been held. Now they will have different weightage. In credit system, they will have different weightage. A subject that has that a student has gone 100 6 classes per day would be a 6 credit course, and a subject wherein you are conducting 1 class per week, it will be a 1 credit course. So that means a 6 credit course is 6 times more valuable, or it has 6 times more value towards computing his semester SGPA or cumulative CGPA. Right, so that is the most important, character of this credit.
Sir, though the sir, according to credit-based system, though the number of classes may be 4 to 6, but it may not be. It may not happen that the students may enter 4 to 6 classes in the week, or the teacher may not take up. Then how can
that is the key. That is a once you I'm basing my answer on plans. See, in the case of percentages, in case of single class or 6 classes, no classes may be held in a particular institution. That's a poor institution. We are not talking about that. Now, what we should be talking about is an institution that is run properly. Okay, there we should give proper weightage to subjects that are taught over a period of time, longer period of time, and the subjects that are taught only, why should one subject get only 1 period? Only when we want to give less importance to this, and a subject that should be taught 6 days a week, we are giving more importance to that subject. So that importance should also be reflected in the marks, isn't it? And it should not be reflected only in timetable. So that is the difference. And I'm not talking about poor institutions. I mean, they can do what they want. उनके वहाँ कोई भी system नहीं चल सकता है. When we talk about a system, we're talking about good institutions. That means all classes will be held and all classes will be taken by the student and by the faculty.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. आपने अपने बिजी शेड्यूल से सर हमारे लिए समय निकाला, हमारे प्रतिभागियों को एनईपी से रिलेटेड बहुत ही बहुमूल्य जानकारी दी। इसके लिए सर पूरे विश्वविद्यालय परिवार की ओर से मैं डॉक्टर कपिल चंदोरिया आपका आभार प्रकट करता हूं और विश्वास दिलाता हूं सर कि जो जानकारी आपने दिया वो हमारे प्रतिभागी अपने प्रैक्टिकल जीवन में इसका प्रयोग करेंगे सर। तो थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। विश्वविद्यालय परिवार में आप आए सर, इसका आभार सर।
वेलकम कपिल, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर।
Okay, so thank you very much for listening very, very patiently to me. I know there might be a lot of questions, but since it is late in the afternoon, maybe the faculty members want to leave. So anyway, I also have another program, so I'll move into another program. Thank you very much.